Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another amazing podcast with Real Estate Uncensored. The Johnson has left the building. He is actually in New York City as we speak right now, guys. He is, I think, down somewhere on 6th Avenue on a rooftop bar with our buddy Chris Lockhead, right where Chris is going to be doing some speaking. He's the author of Play Bigger. But I have got an amazing guest for you guys today. I have Philip Simonetta. Did I say that right? Did I get it right? I think I got it right?
Got it, brother. You got it.
Simonetta. Guys, I got to tell you a little bit about this guy before I let him come in. He is just an awesome dude. He's out of Florida. He's a realtor. He's an author. He's a radio and reality show host. Guys, he's the founder of the Simonetta Group. He has a couple different. He's founder of I think was the Real Estate Kings radio show and reality show, and many more things, guys. We're going to talk about a lot of awesome things. One of which is going to be my favorite. It's going to be about prospecting, how to use your DISC, and how to leverage that in regards to sharing that out with the world. So, Philip, with no further ado, man, what's up? Welcome to the show. Glad you're here, man.
Hey, it's awesome, man. I'm really happy to be with you, brother. I love what you guys are doing, and just to be part of it and to be a contribution to you guys is tremendous. I'm really happy to be here.
Dude, we're pumped to have you. I think it's going to be an absolutely amazing show today. So, I kind of gave a little brief introduction on who you are, but if you could elaborate, tell everyone about who you are, where you're from, what you're doing, and all the cool stuff you got going on.
Yeah, I'm actually from Philadelphia. Grew up in Philly, and I was in the restaurant and I was in the entertainment business. I had nightclubs and restaurants for a long time. I moved to Florida about 6 years ago, and where I strictly went into real estate. I was in finance before. I was in real estate before. My first real estate transaction when I was 19 years old, it was buying and flipping property. I did it for a long time. I just turned 40, so like almost 21 years. And that's where I started. And, moving down to Florida about 6.5 years ago, I really got into some business consulting, and I decided to get back into strictly real estate. So getting into real estate, I got in, I started working with some of the bigger companies, and, just like everybody feels, you get let down. You're promised the world. You get all the smoke and mirrors. We'll do this. And then you're like hung out to dry. You get out there and like it's kind of your own thing. Mm-hmm. And it's sink or swim. 8 out of 10 realtors fail, correct? So me, I took all my business experience growing up, and I just kind of applied my business experience to the real estate industry. And in doing that, I created systems, and strategies that I use that work pretty well. And being in the business, I eventually started my own group. I have my own office of Charles Rutenberg Realty. It's the Simonetta Group of Charles Rutenberg. And I'm here in Brickell, downtown Miami. I have my own office, I have my own group. And I do a really interesting training with them. Hey, I'm sorry. Yeah, no worries. You guys are good today. It's okay. Thanks. So so basically what I did was I built up the team through a training program that I created, which was called Top Agent Academy. And that's really and that's kind of what I do. I have the apprenticeship, I have the real estate business, and then I have a cash flow business where I'm flipping and buying properties and selling contracts and things like that. So I really focus into those 3 areas.
Interesting. Now I know that you have a team of 5 right now. Are you looking? I know that you and I were talking off air. You're looking to grow it to about 15, no more, because you want only assassins on your team that are are bloodthirsty and ready to go out there and just kill it and just make it happen, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now
for me, it's not about the numbers. You could have a 1 with 7 zeros after it, and it depends on where the decimal point is. If the decimal point is before the 1, nothing. If it's after the 7 zeros, something, right? Yeah. So you see, I want decimal points. I don't want numbers. Some agents, some brokers, some people, they want 200 people. See, I don't want that. I want 10 or 15 good people who are hungry, who want to learn, who want to develop, and want to create, like wealth and really impact the community and give back and be something of a contribution to what we do and really to improve the industry is really, where I'm at. Frustrating. You deal with it every day. We all deal with it every day. It's frustrating.
Yeah, it really is. And that's why this whole podcast was formed, because I wanted to give back to the industry. I want to give back to the agents. I want to help people become the best, version of themselves when it comes to real estate through free training, so they can go out there and actually live a life. Because as you know, the majority of agents don't have a pot to piss in when they get into the business. They're flat ass broke. They have stars in their eyes. They've been watching Bravo for too fucking long, and they think that everything's gonna be romanticized and beautiful, and it's just not that way. And they need hardcore training. And I think what I like what you're doing. You go through people like you said, like water, because of the fact that if you're looking for that certain set amount of group, and you're looking for those traces in the human being that like say, look, I'm gonna follow who I am, and I'm going to exploit it to the best. When I say exploit, I mean that in the best way, using the DISC, your DISC profile, right?
Absolutely. That's key.
Okay. And what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about the Top Agent Academy before we jump into the DISC profiles and what you're doing there. So explain the Top Agent Academy so everybody understands what that is.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a little analogy to start it off. So, in any business, when you go into business, there's always a training period. There's always a learning period. When I was in finance, we had different programs. We had different things we did. I mean, even if you're a cashier at Whole Foods, you go in as a cashier the first day. You stand next to a cashier who works. You watch them. You watch what they're doing. You learn codes. You learn things. The next day, you do the work. They watch you. The third day, you're good. You're on your own. See, even as a job of that caliber, you have some kind of apprenticeship, some kind of training. So what I decided to do was to create Top Agent Academy. I took the real estate process, broke it down to 18 steps. And from those steps, I teach them, the first thing I teach is mindset and prospecting. Now, when I say mindset, I'm not talking about the fluff and all the bullshit that they do out there. I'm talking about actually taking action, doing a weekly business plan. We have questions weekly. What'd you learn this week? What was your biggest accomplishment this week? What was your biggest failure this week? What did you learn not to do again next week? And I go through things. We sit down for a half hour on a Friday and we go over this stuff because it keeps the brain, it keeps it fresh. It gives you new neural pathways when you're thinking about these things and making notes. So then I start with the DISC profile. The first thing I do is a DISC profile, and I teach them all about who they are. Then the most valuable part is teaching them who everybody else is, because it's better. Yeah. But I'm a high D. I'm an 81D, 81I. So S and C's, I scared the shit out of them, right? So I know if I'm talking to a C who's an architect or like an accountant who like me. Look, if I'm going to gotta get across the water, I'm going to build a bridge. I'm going to get across, and that bridge is not even going to make it. I'm going to get there and it's going to fall over. I'll worry about getting back later. That architect, that bridge should have been built on Tuesday. He didn't get it done till Friday, but it'll be there for a million years because he built it so perfectly. And the deadline didn't mean anything to him. So I know when I'm talking to that C, I got to get detailed. I got to pull an RPR report. I got to give them more information than I would care to give them. And I got to slow down and I got to talk to them. And see, this is what I do when I first talk to them on the phone, like when I teach the prospecting. You have scripts, you have this, you have that. There's trainers out there that have been using the same scripts, the same books, charging people $500 to come see them since the beginning of time. Dude's making $50 million a year saying the same bullshit.
So true. So true.
And it's not even that. It's frustrating because you see the hunger in these young people, and you see the determination, and they're so let down. And for me, when I teach prospecting, buddy, it's like when I call somebody up, the first thing I do is I teach them my script, which is for me, and I teach them, okay, well, here's the first statements, and this is the point we're trying to get across. Here's the second statements. Here's the point we're trying to get across. So then I take them and I say, here you go. Here's a copy of mine. Take your personality type. Now, if you're an S, you're more nurturing. You care more about people than the money. If you're a D, you care more about the money than the people. It's just natural. It's not like you don't like people. The deal. You want the deal. Yeah, so I know when I'm talking to an S, they gotta start talking about my opening line is, hey, Greg, this is Phil. You don't know me yet. I have a real estate reality show, a radio show. My office is in Brooklyn, Fort Lauderdale. I know you're getting a ton of calls right now, and I apologize that you're probably really frustrated. And then they're going to say something. And I say, listen, the reason for my call is, I seen your property came off the market. I know that area super well. I sell a lot of property there, and I don't see why. I don't get why it didn't sell. Can you shed some light on that for me? And then they'll start talking. See, I call them up as a friend. I'm like, hey, Greg, I'm Phil. You don't know me yet. Whoever you say that to wants to know who the hell you are. Like, what do you mean I don't know you?
That is so true. That is so true. I do it when I do my calls. I do my callback messages. Hey, that's Greg. When you get a chance, give me a call. 925-915-1978. I have 75 callbacks in the last week and a half from that message. It's so true. It works so well.
And then if I get hung up on, dude, and I get hung up on it, I call them back. You know what I say to them? I say, listen, I say, hey, you hang up on me? And then they'll be either they're gonna laugh, hang up again, and then they feel bad. Genuine people are like, shit, I did, I hung up on that guy. Like after the fact, even though they're mad. I say,
Yeah.
listen, if you wanted to learn how to play basketball and Michael Jordan called you, would you talk to him? And they start laughing. Of course, I think so. I go, well, listen, consider me the Michael Jordan of real estate. Google my name. Here it is. And when they Google me, radio show, webcast, reality show, all my awards, my 9 books, all the things I've done is right there. And now if there any inkling in them is about ready to sell or anything with real estate, they're going to see, wow, this guy really knows what he's talking about. And I say, look, the reason I'm calling you, I don't want to waste my time or your time. I know I can sell your house. You want to sell it? And that's the conversation I have with everybody. That's the, if it's FISBO, whatever. And I teach them to have that conversation in their own context of their personality.
I think it's absolutely genius, because everybody reacts differently to, who's talking to them. Like you said, an S or a C, you and I, high D, high I's. I mean, I know I've scared the shit out of people when I talk to them. They're like deer in a headlight. They're like, what the hell is he gonna do next? He's gonna jump down my throat and kick in my tonsils. I don't know what's gonna happen. But the thing is that you come at them with such a good. I felt very comfortable with you talking to me like that. It didn't feel weird, even though I wouldn't have known you.
Right. And the kicker isn't that, buddy. Like the kicker is, see, it's about being authentic, and it's about being genuine.
Yeah.
Because listen, we're gonna make the money no matter what, right? We're gonna get a sale, we're gonna make the money, we get our percentage, we get whatever. But the truth of the matter is, when you stop caring about the money, now look, we all care about the money. Money's important. We're here to make money. We want to make as much as we can. We want to leave a legacy, correct? We want to build something. But the bottom line is, I genuinely, like, what really satisfies me, I used to, when I was younger, it used to be, look, I want $1 million. Look, I want to get this. I want to get this car. I want to do that. And every time you get to that accomplishment, you get there and you're like, what the fuck, man? Like, okay, what's next? And you're empty. And the bigger the accomplishments, like I wanted to buy a house. I bought one at 19. I'm like, okay, I wanted to get married. I got married at 21. I wanted to have a kid. I had a kid at 22. And I kept going emptier and emptier and emptier, and it gets to a point where like you're empty. So I got to a point in my life where I started studying like, Wayne Dyer, Tony Robbins, a lot of metaphysics, Napoleon Hill, a lot of the metaphysical properties and things about like what's bigger than what we are. And I learned something in that, the thing that really fulfills me, that makes me feel great, I used to place that in money, but it's really not the money. It's really fulfilling, like leaving people better off, helping people increase in their life. And then that feeling you get here, dude, when you do that, when you're helping people, that feeling here is like more precious than closing $1 million deal.
Hands
the
down.
$1 million deal is great.
Down.
And that's what I try to do with people. And the second they realize that you're authentic and you truly want to leave them off better, it's not even a sale anymore, dude. And there's no competition because no one else does that. No, you got to really truly care about the people and really leave them better.
And that's where a lot of people fall off. And because they actually care, they say they care about the consumer, about their clients and everything else. What they're truly caring about is their bottom line dollar. Those are the people that come at the clients with commission breath, and they do unethical, unsavory things because they got to get that dollar, they got to get this done, that done, or whatever else done. But when you can step back and be like, you're not attached to the almighty dollar, and be like, whoa, this might not be the right time for you to buy or sell. Let's wait. Let's look at your overall plan. Let's make it happen so it's best for you. That's when, like what you're saying, is being authentic, being completely transparent, 100% coming from the heart and the soul of helping them, not helping yourself. They smell that, and it's so rare to them that it's like a new fragrance, and you're so refreshing that they can't stay away from you.
And they sometimes they question it. They're like, "Are you serious?" Like sometimes they're so in disbelief that it's not about the money. Look, it is about the money. I got to make money. Do you go to work for free? No. Of course I'm going to work. This is my job. I got to make money. But listen, I'm going to make the same money that guy's going to make. But I'm truly bringing something to the table. And when I'm bringing something to the table, it's not just authenticity. The knowledge I have. Come on, I own nightclubs. I own restaurants. Dude, I threw people out the back door by their head. I mean, I dealt with the bottom and I dealt with the top. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just being real. Like I've seen from the top to the bottom. I dealt with billionaires, and I dealt with like thug wannabes in a nightclub, and I had to like handle them all. Now, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? A client's going to tell me no? okay, like you're gonna say no to
Worst.
me, like not the worst thing in the world is gonna happen to me. I could have been in so many worse situations in my life. Like you're gonna tell me no, and that's when I pull out the Michael Jordan line. I'm like, dude, like, or I tell them, do you really want to sell your house? And they look at me, or they're like, I'm like, well, you don't sound like it, you know. And I just, dude, they got to start laughing with that like personality, you know. And that's what I teach, you know. And then the great part of it is so I teach them that. I teach them how to connect. Now the next thing is position. So they got to position themselves. So when I teach them the position, okay, all they have to say instead of I have a radio show and I have a reality show and I have an office in Brickell and in Fort Lauderdale, all they have to do is say we have an office in Fort Lauderdale. We have a loft. They change I to we, and they're me.
Yeah.
You know, I built that
story.
Now, after connecting, then they need to inspire them to make a decision. See, they don't got to worry about that though, because once they connect and once we get the appointment, I take them by the hand and I do every appointment with them until they're ready. So from that point on, MLS searches, we do video conference just like this. So my agent could be they could be at their house, the client could be at home, and the wife could be at work. We're all sitting here just like this talking, and I'm pulling an RPR report, explaining everything to them, and we're doing everything here. I list houses without even going to them because I do everything right here. I'll take my drone, go take pictures, and we're done, you know, at the end. But just like we're doing right here, I do that with the clients. It's a whole new industry, buddy. I'm telling you, so much has changed, and you don't have a house. And
how is that? I mean, are the clients okay with the whole digital, you know, interview, the digital thing? I mean, are they cool with that, or is it becoming more and more cool with it?
You know something? When I pitch it to them, I say, look, to save you time, I don't even do it about me. I'm like, look, to save you time, I'd be more than happy to set up a video conference. I can send you a link. I'll send you and your husband or you and your wife a link, and all you have to do is 3 o'clock, go in, click the link. We'll all be sitting right here as if we're in the same room. It'll save you time. It'll save your husband or wife time. It'll save me time. It'll save everybody time. And let's see if this makes sense. And then once we connect like this, then the next step is go to the house. Now think about how much time I'm saving, how much energy I'm saving, how much gas running around, wasting time. I can do 10 appointments a day like this.
Yeah.
You know,
all day, every day.
And there's no like, you don't have to structure it. You just set it up and you give them the option. Say, look, we can come out to your house at 6 o'clock, be there, spend an hour, go over it. I said, or I could pop on a video conference and take 15, 20 minutes to go over everything. It usually takes more than that. I just kind of give them that 15, 20 minutes. And we end up being on video conference for an hour, but it hits every clip. You know, and being in Florida, the other thing for me is my last 2 deals came from LinkedIn, and one was a Canadian, and one guy was from overseas. And I did all this way. I never met them. I closed the deals. And that happens more and more here because there's a lot of foreign investment in South Florida. You know, there's a lot of people that don't even come, and it's all digital signature, and it's all, you know, the title companies, you know, they do the notaries, and when they're in Canada, they have to get the power of attorney and stuff like that with the land leases and the land trusts and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, it's communication. It's building relationships. That's all it is, man. And then
it really is.
Yeah,
you know, I think it is going that direction. A lot of us are getting so comfortable to be on camera. I mean, I'm on camera a minimum of 1 to 2 to 3 times a day, and so I mean, this is my happy area. I mean, I got my lights up. I'm good. I can look good. I sound good. The whole thing. A lot of people are afraid of it, but when they start viewing it as, hey, this is just another form of, you know, interpersonal communication, because I can see you, I can hear you, I can hear, you know, the whole 9 yards, all 3 levels of communication are there. I think it's really super powerful. What I want to go back to really quickly is this. You talked about your first thing that you talked about was your first thing you cover is mindset and prospecting, right? Mm-hmm. And not about goals, you know, kind of goals and getting all that stuff set up kind of where they want to be in the whole 9 yards. I was listening to a podcast today, and I heard something very, very interesting. And a lot of the people, like, they get where's my goal book? I don't, it's in my bag. Oh, here it is. So my goal book is sitting right here next to me, right? And the speaker said that you instead of reviewing your goals, he said you need to get into a relationship with your goals. And he's like, imagine if you know, your wife or your husband, your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, whatever of them, what if you didn't look at them or talk to them for a day, a week, a month, a quarter, a year? How do you think that relationship is going to be at the end of that month, day, quarter, or year? It's going to be pretty shitty. Absolutely. So I think it's really, because if you don't talk to your wife for a week, dude, you are fucking dead in her mind. She will cut you while you sleep.
If you don't call your wife by 2 in the afternoon, you might be dead in some cases.
Exactly. But and I think that's really important. What you're doing is you're getting involved in if people can grasp that idea, like what you teach and what I teach, is getting a relationship with your goals and your dreams and your future. Because I mean, they will treat you just as you treat them. If you abandon them or neglect them, they will abandon you or neglect you. And I love how you just you keep pushing through and you keep making sure that the people are hungry and that's what they want. That's what they're chasing.
The way I do that is I sit down every Friday afternoon at 3:00 and we make a business plan for the following week. So you're going to make 400 calls next week. Okay. You're going to work these days next week. Okay. You're going to get this many appointments next week. Okay. And then what I do is the following week, Monday we start. And then the following Friday we sit down and we review the last week and then we build the next week. And it's accountability. And if they cannot produce 3 weeks straight, they're gone. The apprenticeship program I have is 12 months long. In the first 90 days, if they can't meet certain measures, and I have a sheet they check off. I'll show you. Hold on. It's right here.
Okay. And as you're grabbing that, I love the fact that you do a 90-day apprenticeship. I actually had a kid that came onto my team. He lasted about 8 hours because I went over all my goals and everything else. Next day, he's like, ripcord, pull, boom, gone. And I'm like, good, man, bon voyage, because you know what? If you can't hack it for more than one work day, you sure shit can't hack it for a month or a quarter or a year.
And they either got it or they don't. It's in the DNA, dude. You got it or you don't. There's no, you can want it. I mean, look, some people have it naturally. Some people have it, learned. It's just a matter of if you can do it. Anybody can do it. It's easier for some or harder for others. This is my onboarding process. That's the first, this is for the first time period. And I have a second page, and we basically, we have different items we do. We have checkoffs, dates, accomplishments. And if they can't do this in the first 90 days, there's 30-day measures. At the end of I sit down with them at the end of 30, 60, 90. And then we put a game plan. And if they're not up to par, maybe I'll give them a second chance if I think they can do it. If they can't, we part as friends. I'm not here. I have enough friends in my life. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money in this business. You get what I'm saying? And it's not about that. It's like, I really care about people. And this is where my heart gets in the way. Because I want to give people more chances and I want to help them out and I really want to guide them. And to me and you and people like, that are successful in real estate, we look at them and we're like, what's wrong with you? Like, why can't you get this? And see, that's where that personality type comes in. Why can't you just call 100 people and talk to 10 of them and get 5 appointments? Just, what are you waiting for? Like, why? Like, it's not hard to us. But, maybe to them, making those calls is like me trying to sit down and do accounting. Because I'm throwing shit out the window. Oh. I can't sit there and document across the T or I'm like, come on, man. So it's kind of tough because you really want to help people and you really want to contribute to them, but sometimes they're just lazy. Sometimes they want a handout. And that's the hardest part in this industry is to find the great people, put them together. Because if you do that, let me tell you something. If you put a group of 10 people together, you'll take over an area. There's no structure. So with the apprenticeship, by the time we go through the 18 sessions, it's a 12-month program that they go through. And, I'm looking now at ramping it up and taking it outside my group. I started it outside. Then I just said, something, let me bring it inside. And then now I have other people that want to join. They don't want to join my group. Maybe they're their own broker or they have their own business. They don't want to be part of something else. They don't want splits. They want to just learn structure and the business. And I'm okay with consulting them and helping them. And so I'm getting some of that now. I'm getting some of that, hey, come help us structure our place kind of thing, which is possible. I'm okay with that. I'm good with that because, I love what I do and I'm passionate about it. And I know if I have a client in front of me and they go somewhere else, I know I'm going to get that client because of my knowledge and what I do and how I treat the people. So I'm not really worried about teaching other people because there's so much business. Dude, 3,000 deals closed in Dade County last month, 3,000 deals. So I need 15. I need 15 of them. I don't need 30. I need 20 of them. I don't need 3,000 deals. I need to make connections and I need to make relationships. And I just want to work as hard as I can and meet as many people as I can and do the best job. And that's all that people need to do. And they got to realize that once they clear that up in their mind, it's a whole new like adventure for them. It's a whole new it
Whole new
changes.
world.
Yeah, it changes.
Yeah,
It's like night.
you know. And so, guys, for everyone who's listening to this on iTunes and Stitcher on the recorded device, you guys can reach out to me. I can get this to you. But all of you guys watching this live, there, I put a link into the feed. It's a clarity report from the NAEA. This is a great report. You can print it out. You can become very clear, just like what Philip does. He gets all of his people to be very clear on where they're going. This is an in-depth program you can print out, and you really get clear on where you have been and where you're going. So that even if you can't move to Miami and work with Philip and his team, you guys can get clear on where you are if you're in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, San Francisco, California, or Madison, Wisconsin. Anywhere in the country, you guys can do this and work from there. But I want to dive down the DISC, and if you're ready for that, and kind of start walking everybody through how to work with them, how not to kill the other sides, because I know the S's and the C's want to murder us D's and I's, and vice versa. So us D's and I's want to just massacre the S's and C's because they sit there and just talk for fucking ever and just drive me batshit crazy. But how do we not want to commit homicide? How do we stop that?
The first thing I want to do is I want to tell you, I have a link where you can get the free disc profile. It gives you the character and the disc profile. If you want,
cool.
I can put it up. It's disc.com. So just DISC, the number 10x.com. And it's a link that I have, and it puts them right through to the disc profiling. And they basically download it when they take it. If they fill it out, they go right in. So it's DISC10x.com. And that's something that I give everybody. I just give it to everybody I deal with anywhere, just to help them clear up. So yeah, so let's get into the disc, man. Like ask the question again. I know you mentioned it there, and then we kind of went off on that. So what was
Guys, I just put the link in there for the ClickFunnels link. Go ahead and go. That's the 10x funnel that Phil was just talking about. So let's talk about the DISC. Let's talk about you and me, man. We're high D, high I's. How can a high D, high I? How can us drivers and entertainers? How can we work with S's and C's without complete massacre? Walk me through that.
So what you have is, I'll give you a perfect example. One of the new agents I brought in, young kid, 20 years old. He's a 99S. Like a 99 out of 100S. And normally, I'm 81 D&I here.
Mm-hmm.
So it is such a challenge for me to work with him, because I'm like, come on, just get this done. Here, do this. And he's like, has to think about it. He has to rationalize it. He has to he worries about people's feelings too much. I don't want them to think this. Like, I had him at the event we were at, taking photos and doing stuff for me. And he's like tiptoeing. He's like caring about, what will they think if I get in their way, or what? Because he's very people oriented. And I'm like, buddy, and we were walking back from the thing across the street where we had it. And he's like, Phil, he's like, I wish some of your directness could rub off on me. That's what he said to me. I go, what do you mean? He goes, I see, because I did a presentation, he watched me. He's like, I wish I could do that. And I'm like, buddy, I go, listen, first of all, I did this to him. I said, okay, I went like this. I go, what do you see? It's like, what do you see when I go like that?
Two fingers.
Okay. It's a peace symbol. Now, do you see, I want you to see something. Now, if you would have said a peace symbol, I would have said two fingers. You can't win on that one. But no. So what I'm saying is, it's all the perception. See, we're born and we're raised in our cultures with our family, our mom, our dad, our grandfather, our grandparents, and we're all in different cultures in different countries. And we're all taught what's right and wrong, good and bad, what you can and can't do, what you should and shouldn't do. When we're kids, we don't know that. We just go with everybody, and we're happy. Yeah. We get up at 3 a.m, we get up at 7, go to school, and hang out with our friends, black, white, blue, green, boy, girl, whatever. It didn't matter, right? And then one day that changes, because we start maturing and things happen in our life, and your parents say, no, you can't do this, or no, you can't do that, or you shouldn't do this. You'll look bad if you do that. And this goes with the disc too. And I said this to him walking back over here. I said, okay, well, like you said, you see a number 2. I said, no, a peace symbol. See, something through your maturing in life said peace symbol. Something through mine said number 2. Mm-hmm. And that's all it is how you saw it from your perception and how I saw it from my perception. So there's no reason he can't get up and do what I did in that room. There's something in his head and in his perception and in his personality that says he can't do that.
Yeah.
But the matter is, it's just his choice. It's a physical choice to get up and do it.
I
You know,
completely agree with you. I mean, people stop themselves at all times from
right.
doing what they truly could do or want to do because they have the fears that hold them back. But the fear, I mean, we all know this. It's false evidence of appearing real is what fear truly is, because nothing really exists there except for you stopping yourself.
It's a
And I
perception.
mean, for myself, I mean, there have been multiple things that I've pushed through multiple different barriers, and I've been fearful about doing something. I basically just said fuck it, and I'm in, and I was uncomfortable. I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I'm going through a couple shifts and morphs at this very moment that are scaring the snozzola out of me. But you know what? That's that mental shift going, okay, time to push through this wall. Let's go. What's on the other side? I don't know, but I know for one thing, it's better than where I currently am in these different arenas in life. And as soon as your team member, and with you leading him, I know he will get there. But
Oh,
it's just, it
absolutely.
takes a mentor like yourself to get him there.
To answer the question, though, and I said that to answer the question. That's how you deal with the S or the C. You got to say fuck it and become them for a minute, and really understand. Wow, he really cares about their feelings more than getting this deal done. He really don't care how much time it takes. He just wants it done right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now you and I can do it right and get it done and care about their feelings and still go to the next deal right now.
Mm-hmm.
We can do that. We can't. It's like taking a dog and trying to make it go meow, and it's like taking a cat and trying to make it bark. A cat's never gonna bark, dude. You get what I'm saying? So like that's the best analogy, right? You're not gonna make a dog go meow, dude. It's not. Can you see a pit bull go meow? It's just not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
Just the sheer thought about that, which just makes me. I'm just laughing inside. Just a big old tough little pit bull goes meow.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Like it's like it just doesn't happen, bro. So like when you care enough, like for me, I care about this kid. He's a young kid. He reminds me of my son. My son's 18 years old. My son is a high S. He's similar to this kid, and I had to learn how to deal with high S because I love my son. I want to have a relationship with him more than anything in the world. So I need to be able because for a long time I was like, no, do this, no, do this, no, do this, and he's just okay, and I could tell it's like beating him down. I'm not talking about my kid now. I'm talking like I could tell he wasn't comfortable. I was just trying to push him to be like me, and then I realized like holy shit, I'm pushing him away because I'm not like he can't answer back to me. It's like not his style. So I had to learn how to deal with S's because I want him to be as successful and I just want to have the best relationship. So what I did was you have to slow down. You have to soften. You gotta, and what's crazy is when you do that and when you slow down and you soften towards them, and when they see you being yourself to like in other situations, things happen like where he says, man, I wish that would have rubbed off on me. I wish you could rub off on me and make me more aggressive. They start to see it. And then once that starts happening, now you can start teaching them ways to be more aggressive. They're never going to be 100%, but you have to slow down and you have to say, okay, let me get out of my D shoes and let me put a pair of S shoes on. And really, once you know the S inside and out, look, we're sharp. We can do whatever. We can become whatever we have to be to get where we're going. You got to become that S and you got to start thinking like that. And
the funny thing about that is I actually had one of my past clients. He's definitely an S and a C. He's A to B, B to C, C to D type of a guy. Very little bit slower to speak, but very intelligent when he does. Yeah. And then we were out looking at houses, and I was just jabbering away like a drunk monkey. And all of a sudden, I did realize I'm like, ooh, I should probably shut up and see what he's gonna say. So I went silent, and then it gave him permission to start to talk. And then we started a nice dialogue. So I, like what you're saying, I got out of my D shoes, put on my S shoes, and started slowing down and looking at stuff, not just going by in the bullet train, waving at it, taking a picture, and keep on moving.
Yeah. Because you can't communicate with them, they will lose that. You'll lose them right there. Like it's over. When that happens, you're never gonna get that deal. You're never gonna make that relationship work because they're just intimidated and they don't know how to tell you. They just rather walk away. Because see, an S is over allowing, and an S is like they're one of the most stubborn personality types. They're the worst that way. And what I mean by that is when you're in a relationship with an S or doing a deal with an S will say, okay, just to make the peace. Okay, yeah, okay. And they do that until it builds up and builds up and builds up. But let me tell you something. When that shit breaks, when an S has enough, dude, they turn that light switch off and you're dead to them. and they're never coming back. They're never, and it's the truth. Because, we're over here as a D saying, here, have this, here, do this, here, do this. And they're like, okay, yeah, okay. And then eventually you're going to do something and boom.
Done.
It's the worst grudge. It's the worst. And they have the worst, grudges. They will not forgive you. They just, and they they're like the ones that have the most tendency to get depressed because they keep all that stuff bottled up inside. And then when they don't forgive people, that personality type is the one that has the most exposure to becoming in depression. And that's something you got to keep in mind too.
So how do we, you and I as D's and I's and the C's, and how do we recognize those red flags from the S's? Like, hey, we need to slow down, or hey, should we watch for body text? Look in the eyes. I mean, is there any indicator that's universal that we can say, okay, this S is about ready to blow. We have got to tone it down with that individual.
Their whole demeanor just changes because they're normally the most sweetest and most nurturing people in the world. They're nurturing, and when that starts to fade away, my ex-wife is an S, dude. And if I would have known that when I got divorced 10 years ago, I was a D saying, here's new shoes, here's a new house, hey, here's more money, hey, here's this, and I'm doing all the D things to make her happy, and all she wants me to do is come home and have dinner with her.
Yeah.
What do you want from me? What the hell do you want from? And she's saying, what do you want from me? And I'm like, go looking back at it, we were just an S and a D, we had no chance. we had no chance without knowing that, because knowing that, then she says, wow, and then she can say, wow, he bought me a new car. He's showing me that. And I can say, wow, she cooked dinner tonight and wants me home at 5. Meanwhile, I got 3 businesses to run. And I'm like, let me run the businesses and I'll be home at 8, kind of thing.
Right. That's something that Lily, my girlfriend, and I, what we do is we do that as well. We have very open communication, because she's a little bit more S. If she's watching, she's gonna murder me. I know this, but she takes her time on telling me stories, and it drives me batshit crazy. But I have to learn to just listen. And so,
I didn't do that. I'm like, what are you saying?
and I used to be like, babe, get to the fucking point. All right, I already get that point. All right, let's move forward. And she's like, listen to me. I'm like, I already know. She's like, listen to me. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you see, that right there is a perfect example of that conflict. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a conflict. When you know it, it's not a liability. It's an asset when you know it. Some people say we have strengths and weaknesses. I don't believe that. We have strengths and we have things we aren't good at. And when you delegate the things you aren't good at, they become strengths because you have good people doing them that love doing that stuff.
Yes, 100%.
And that's what it is. So you take an S and put them in their role. You take a C and you put them in their role. Now they're doing everything they love, and they do it, and they're not doing anything they don't love. And you put everybody in their own role. Now you got a whole straight up great organization that only does what they love.
So my team manager, Eileen, I call her the steel trap. She usually sits right over here, right? And she's straight up SC, man. Without a doubt, there is 0 D in that body of hers. And, she is exceptional at doing the S and the C and making sure everything runs smoothly. She would die 1,000 deaths to get on camera and do what I do on a daily basis. But we were very compatible because we're very happy in each other's roles. And I think that a lot of people, once you guys understand and realize and are okay with the fact that people aren't like you, be a student of this whole process. Go learn. Okay, Philip and I are D's and I's. Great. Let's go learn how we don't murder S's and C's.
Yeah.
All right.
And when you get that, it's a key. It's like being in a room and looking around, and you can't get out. You can't get out. You're stuck in. There's no door, no windows, and there's a pair of glasses over there, and they're called S. And you put glasses, and you put the S on, and you holy shit, there's a door right there, and you walk out the room. You get what I'm saying? It's literally that simple, bro. It's really that clear. Like you're stuck and you don't know where you're going. And sometimes when you just look at that different viewpoint. Now, the whole thing about this whole concept is when you take this knowledge and really learn this system and really learn DISC and really learn the ins and outs of the profiles, and it doesn't take long. It's just really some study, and you really got to just put it into effect. Then you start to realize, wow, like it's different. You can The person that you walk into the office and you butt heads with them, you just don't know why you can't be around them. It's because they're the opposite personality. And you realize when they say A, B, and C, and you're hearing D, E, and F, you know they're saying A, B, and C in their own language. It's like speaking a different language. And if you care enough about the relationship, you can make it work. And if you don't, screw it. But if you care, you know,
if you don't, fuck off. Well, all right, we're moving forward.
Next.
So the funny thing is my girlfriend Lily is listening. She's typing away over here. So babe, yes.
I'm sorry, man.
No, we're good. She and I recognize it. But the thing is like what happened. I mean, once you guys think about this, imagine the clients that you've lost for these exact reasons. What if you could go back, starting today, go to Philip's link, click on this thing, understand the disc profile, learn, become a student of this, really understand it. So the next time, if you're in SNSD and you run into one of us dickheads, D's and I's, well, you know how to handle it. We're like bulls in china shops. We just don't give one fuck. We're just pushing through, and like we'll come back and see you later, but we're heading towards a goal. When the S's and C's want to sit down and talk about their colors and their feelings and the lights and the drapes, and you're like, I'm done.
We're talking about here. I have a seminar I do. I call it The Psychology of a Cold Call. And I give it for free. You can go online. It's thepsychologyofacoldcall.com. And it talks about how scary a cold call is in the intro. And then it's literally an hour and a half long. And it basically takes the disc profile, it breaks every type down, and it tells you how to work with all the different disc code files. And then I get into scripts and how to create the scripts and it's literally an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes long, and it's all for free. Thepsychologyofacoldcall.com. And what it is it's literally what we're talking about. It's how to apply this to your life to increase. And I give it away for free now because I did, had seminars and they were paid and all kinds of things. And I thought, something, I really just want to give out to people. And when people see this, it's going to give them value to start applying this to their life. And that program right there, I even have at the end of it, there's about a 12-minute call. One of my assistants that was working for me called the client, and I record all my calls through Vulcan 7. Okay. So he called up a guy and he got hung up on. And I heard in the guy's voice he needed help. I made the assistant call him back, and the assistant's rambling. Like he's trying to, like he doesn't even make sense with what he's saying. But I could tell the guy needs help, and you can hear it. And he puts him on the phone with me. And in an 8-minute, like it's a 12-minute call. And in that 12-minute call, I took a guy that was a dead no and hung up on him. And I set up a video conference, and I had the property listed. I still haven't met him. I listed it. I sold the property. I haven't met him. He's in Maryland. We sold it. It's all done. And I just listed a second property for him, this guy. And I never physically met him. It's all done through calling and and you can hear at the end of that session, I put that call in there and I beep out the names. Like when you go through, I have like the white noise. The white noise in the courtroom, like when you go off the day. So I put the white noise with seagulls. When he's talking about his name and his address, it's like you hear, and then like the seagulls flying. So me, I just gotta have fun with it. So
that's fun.
But you can actually hear a conversation that was a total cold call that got hung up on. I pick up the phone, tell them who I am, what I do, just like we talked about. And I literally set the video conference. I took pictures the next day, put it up on the market. I sold it like in 2 weeks. And now he called me 3 weeks ago, and he's like, I need to sell another property. He has a few rental properties. And I just put it on the market like a week ago, where it's out there right now. But
that's all from knowing the different personality types.
Yeah, and that breaks down like what we're talking about right now. It breaks it down to a T. I go through every strength, every weakness, everything, every disposition, what they're like, what their positives are, what their negatives are in that seminar. It's just me standing there talking about it. I recorded it, and it's like an orientation kind of thing for disc. I just did it.
Fantastic.
Check it out.
The Psychology of a Cold Call, right?
Yeah, The Psychology of a Cold Call. It should come up, and there's like a picture of me or something on it.
Let's see here. Copy. Let's put it up here. Let's just pull this.
They're all ClickFunnels. I do everything through ClickFunnels, man.
Oh, you do?
Except my main website is IDX, but I do everything I do is through ClickFunnels. The one I have for recruiting is called ComeSeeUsToday.com, and it's like a whole recruiting ClickFunnel, and they come in and see. I do everything like that because I just simplify my life and I keep everything into systems.
Yep. Put them into different funnels and everything so that everything stays within its certain
Everything
its
stays
different
within, and it all
parameters.
records and registers. So I get an email on this every time, and I have files, and I just keep everything organized, and I structure it all. So yeah.
You guys, obviously, we cannot cover everything that Philip has to offer. This man is a master of what he does. He obviously knows how to run multiple different businesses simultaneously. He's building and growing his team. He understands the psychology of both, running businesses and of, how to interact with clients. Guys, I want you to go to the psychology of a cold call.com. I want you guys to go there. We will put the link into it a little bit later on. But all of you guys that are listening to this on iTunes and Stitcher, it's like we have some other stuff in there. We have the some other reports that we put in. So go back and find this on my Facebook page if you guys can. But Phil, one more time, I want to wrap this up. I want to make sure that everybody knows where to find you, if they want to reach out to you. If they're in the Miami area and they want to join just an absolute ass-kicking real estate team or take one of your courses or whatever else, where do they find you, man? What's the easiest places?
My office is located downtown in Miami. It's in Brickell. The address is 777 Brickell Avenue. It's the SunTrust building right downtown. We're on the 5th floor here. Online, they can find me. Our real estate site is the SimonettaGroup.com. And basically, the training site is topagentacademy.com. And from there, they can get to all of our sites. It all kind of feeds and leads through. If someone is in the Miami area and looking to get into real estate or is in real estate and is a little confused and want to do something, I actually have a recruitment site for agents looking to want to join us. And there's some videos on there explaining who we are and what we do. And they can go to comeseeustoday.com. So just comeseeustoday.com. And that takes them to the funnel. The links we put up before, the psychology of a cold call and all that, I want everybody to know that stuff is completely free. To take the disc profile is completely free. There's no cost. There's no anything to that. I don't do that to make money. I do that to really contribute back. And then it turns into relationships, which turns into money later, in different scenarios, partners, buildings, referrals, different things. But all that stuff I do there is for free because I really want to give back to people. So the disconnects where they can take the test, totally free. The psychology of a cold call, which takes that test, because the best thing to do would be take the test and then watch the psychology of a cold call. It really would be, because you got the test in front of you and now you can watch it and learn it. Like right there. That's the best thing to do.
Then, guys, every one of you guys are listening to it. He just laid out what to do. Don't reinvent the wheel. Follow what he said. Take the test. Watch the psychology of a cold call and just get to work, guys. And you can really understand how you can master your business. Do you want to give them any phone numbers that I can call you?
Yeah, sure. My cell, you can just reach me directly. It's 786-519-7991.
Cool. We have got a ton of people commenting and watching. They've been hopping on and off this thing today. Do they love what you're putting out, man? Dude, Wyatt, one of my boys, Wyatt, I got to talk to you afterwards, bud, about that referral. But he's like, dude, this dude's on fire. So a lot of love out there.
Appreciate it,
Guys, this, as always, these shows are brought to you by Get Now Business. Matt and I we're taking that off the table as a live course. We are going to be doing a recorded version of that course, but we're also going to be doing a hybrid of a couple of different courses, probably the Rockstar Prospecting along with Get Now Business, so you guys can get a little bit of both. We're going to be putting that together for you guys, so stay tuned for that. If you want to learn about Get Now Business, go to getnowbusiness.com, is the official sponsor of this show. As always, guys, we do the show because we love you. We think we get to meet amazing people like Phil. We get to hear the cool things that he's doing. Look at his heart, guys. This guy is giving you guys so much valuable content for FREE in all caps because he wants to see you become better. He'll never meet 99% of you, but he still wants you guys to go out into the world and take it by storm and not have to go out and bumblefuck through it like he and I have done for the last 18 to 20 years, but just get a head start, starting at that green light in first gear, not fifth gear, guys. If you have any questions for me, you guys know where to reach me. Please go follow me on Facebook. Boop, boop, boop. Push that button, says follow. Make sure that you guys get all the podcasts that we're going to be putting out for free. Also, that you guys can watch all my live prospecting calls that I do Monday through Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so you can see all that I'm doing. And that's about it. But Philip, any last words before we?
Let me throw one thing out. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, that's where we do the reality show. We have a Facebook reality show we're putting together. It's going to be called The Real Estate Lifestyle. And on Instagram, it's just real_estate_lifestyle. lifestyle _. Facebook, it's Philip Simonetta PA. We also have the Simonetta group on there. And Twitter is Simonetta Realty, at Simonetta Realty. So that's it. That's where we are.
Cool. All right, guys. Hey, I love you to the bottom of my heart. We do this because we love you. Matt and I will see you on the next podcast. But until then, peace out, ninjas. We gone.
Thanks, guys.